Welcome back, guys, back to the channel. So, in one of my videos, I was actually posting about adding the comments into several projects. This time, we're going to also be doing this for the versions as well. So, let's say you have the same versions basically that you want to add to several different projects. You actually don't want to do this manually because I agree, it is a time consuming thing, and this is something that you actually want to do with some of the scripting. Fortunately, we can actually do this with Python scripts. So first I'm going to walk you through the script, how it actually works, what it does, and then we're gonna test it out. So back in my Visual Studio Code, the very first thing is you want to actually define the list of your versions that you want to add to your projects. So I'm going to add another version in here, and I'm going to be using strings. And for this, I'm going to be naming this Python, just for the sake of the video. Everything else actually works basically the same. What it's doing is using the requests library along with the basic authentication. Basic authentication is with your email and with your API token. Now, there were also some recent changes within the API tokens where we actually have the API tokens with the scope and without the scope, but I will actually talk about this in some of the other videos where I actually cover this. The very first thing is that we're actually creating a function that fetches all of the projects in here, of course, with the API endpoint that actually still works, even though it's being deprecated. Doesn't matter, it still works, and actually gets all of the responses. It's actually in the JSON format. So as you can see, this is the step one where it's actually basically fetching all of the projects in here. Now, what it's actually happening in here is that if there are some kind of problems and the projects could not be fetched, there's actually an exception and the whole text that says about this, and from there it actually exits this if statement. Then when we're actually adding the versions to each project, so it's actually taking the project ID, it's and also taking the project key. So the very first thing is that it's going to print out the project key. So it's going to go through all of the project keys that you have within your Jira instance. Then it's going to fetch the existing versions. And when it's fetching the existing versions, if a certain version actually exists within the project that is within that kind of a list, well, actually it's going to say that. Also, what it's yeah, as you can see, existing version names, and it's gonna go and it's gonna say basically all of those version names in there, and it's gonna parse it in JSON format. So it's also saying the version already exists and what is the name of the version. It doesn't end the loop there. It's actually continuing with the payload. And also in here, if everything is okay, the version gets created. If it's not okay, it doesn't actually create it. And basically that's it. So that was like a tech deep dive into it. So now when we actually run this script, so it's actually saying, so it's going through your projects in here, and yeah, it's gonna create the version. So it's basically going and parsing if all of these versions exist, like in the script itself. So you can do this like really easily. You don't have to actually do this like manually, which would actually take some of the time, of course. And yeah, Python does all of these things for you. So I have a lot of projects in here. Maybe we can actually wait for everything to actually finish, so I can have all of these versions within my project. So yeah, okay. Or if I want, I can actually stop this, and basically that's it. So yeah, that's enough of projects in there. So I interrupted this. So as you can see, let us take the one. Let's take the project HR, for example. So let us go in here. Let's see, HR, human resources. Okay, and from there, even though that this is a service management project, in service management you can also have versions as well. So if we actually go here, we can definitely see that these have been created. It says Python. This is the this is the issue. This is the version as well. So if we actually go with a Python, no issues were actually been in there. And in order to actually add your issues to one of these versions, you just need to fill out the fixed versions field. And basically that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.